Hey out there, party people all across the world. You are tuned to another exciting episode number 31 of the show here on Shaw TV. Behind me, we do have the sounds of popular Nanaimo power trio, Braeden Marshal. They got great tunes, and also they're a family endeavor with much more edge than the Partridge family. Coming up later on, Andrew Roberts, who once defeated Danny Partridge in a wrestling match. He'll be here with a feature interview with the band. Also this week, Bob Fenty is here with one of his regular Rotary segments. As an aside, I do hope Rotary brings back those cool phones they used to have. All right, we're all on Jingle Pot Road, but we are jingling about pottery. As part of Arts on the Avenue, and Teri Keeping will be here for that story. Her friends, of course, call her Keeping It Real. We're also going to find out about the Forest Drive Art in the Park, and we've got the Nanaimo District Branch Manager for the SPCA in the house to talk about the Paws for the Cause campaign and how you can get involved. This is not to be confused with a series of pro-meditation campaigns being put on by Tibetan monks called Cause for the Paws. As well, the familiar face too, Nanaimo hockey fans. We've got now the head coach and GM of the Victoria Grizzlies here, Bill Bestwick, and he will be sitting down with Ian Holmes to talk about hockey and politics and much, much more. We also have stories on the Hart sisters. I'm sure Brett the Hitman approves. We have SPCA summer camps, so we're kicking it off right now with a taste of some effing Oyster. So get out of your shell and get into the show, starting right now here on Shaw TV, Channel 4.
Hello everybody, I am so excited. Here on the island we have a lot of seafood, and it's just one of the great joys we have, and we're very lucky that we have a great variety. And one of the most popular seafood options out there is oysters. And today I'm joined by Rob Tyron. I always get it wrong, I'm working on that. That's right. And he's the man behind Effing Oysters. That's your tag name out there, is Effing Oyster. And I think I'm gonna try a few today. Right?
That's right. I brought 4 different oysters with me today.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to bring my own. We had a closure for PSP, which is something that we always need to be cautious of. There's many safeguards in place to protect everyone. So today what I've got some Sawmill Bay oysters,
right?
Some black pearls, as well as some Marina's Top Drawer, and some beach angels. So the Sawmill Bays are grown by Sawmill Bay Shellfish up near Quadra Island, and the other 3 are all grown by Outlandish Shellfish Guild, as well as just on the outside of
You guys have the best names.
Oh yeah.
The best names. So why are you called Effing Oyster?
Well, it comes back to when I started my social media accounts on Twitter, and I started it as Effing Oyster, and it's just kind of snowballed from there. So my hashtag on my shirt is Get Effed, and that comes back to Twitter, where if you're involved in Twitter, you'd understand. So it's been a lot of fun.
Your oysters, Effingham oysters, right?
Yes.
Hence effing. Okay, got it. Okay.
Effingham Inlet oysters is where they're grown.
Awesome. So you are a shellfish farmer. So you don't have dirt, you've got water.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And where's your farm?
Out in Barkley Sound, out on the west coast of Vancouver Island.
Okay. So I have tried oysters in the past, and I'm going to try them again. So which one should I try? As a newbie, what should I do, buddy?
What I would do is you probably want to start with a smaller one. And oysters are a lot like wine, where they've all got their different flavor profiles, where depending on where they're grown, how they're grown, some oysters are grown suspended in the water. Some are grown on a beach, like the beach angels here are grown on the beach. These are the black pearls, and they're a tumbled oyster, so they're a tray cultured oyster. So what that means is they're hung in the water, and they're suspended in the water. And what they do is they put them through a rolling tube 3 to 4 times in their life, and it gives them a nice hard shell and a nice deep cup.
You like those deep cups.
I love my deep cups. When you look at an oyster, what you want to look for is you want to find the nice deep cup.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well,
what I would say, what you want to look for is try that one there.
Okay.
It's got a nice color to it. You can pour out the liquor if you want. Right. I wouldn't be offended, but it is pure.
I'm gonna do it.
It is pure filtered seawater.
Okay.
So go
So no
go
chewing
right ahead.
just down, what do I do?
No, you want to chew it. You want to release the flavors.
So it's not going to taste like a gummy bear and no,
No,
I'm good,
no,
right?
it's gonna. It depends on the oyster. I'm not that familiar with these ones, but I know with mine, between the two different sizes that are grown in the same tray, you're gonna get different flavor profiles. So sometimes you're gonna get a salty start with a lettuce aftertaste or a cucumber aftertaste,
You
or
gonna
even
do
a
one with
melon
me?
one. Of course,
Okay,
I
buddy.
love my oysters.
Okay, cheers, bud.
Cheers.
That's salty. That one is salty.
That is
Very
good.
salty. Wow.
Very
So,
tasty.
okay, so we've got a couple more minutes left. So I wanted to know if you're doing another, if you were eat oysters often, what's another one that we should try?
What I would try, let's try a beach oyster because
Okay.
that's going to give you a much different flavor.
much bigger, much
yeah, they're
meatier.
a little bit bigger. Don't be intimidated. Don't be
You
scared.
gave me the biggest one.
So there's one for you. It's beautiful.
So that one is another one.
Yep.
We're gonna try?
These are the beach angels from
Okay.
Outlandish Shellfish.
Okay.
So
Down we go.
It's not rude to just flick it back with your finger. Give it a little help.
I like that one better than the first one, actually. Not as salty. That's good.
And if you get a little bit of shell, you got to keep in mind I am just a farmer, I'm not a professional chef.
So, okay, if people are going to beaches locally, what should they be looking for? Because we really have to worry about safety and with shellfish and things like that.
We do. People really can get sick very easily. So one thing that I always recommend to people is checking the DFO, Department of Fisheries and Oceans website to make sure that that area is open before they go down and do their harvest. There's many different things involved where there's Vibrio, PSP, there's so many different factors, and it can happen year-round. So many people think that you avoid shellfish in the summer warmer months, but you need to watch it year-round.
Okay, so and if you're out on the beach, you can still harvest off the beach like people do, or do you suggest that, or?
You can if you know the area is open and safe, and you have a recreational license, there's a certain amount that you can go and pick off the beach yourself.
Okay. Wow. Well, we just have a couple more minutes. How long does it take to actually open one of these? Can you show us real quick?
Yeah, what we can do is we'll open up one
quick?
of the marina's top drawer.
Okay.
And you want to get it up into the hinge.
Okay.
And just push it in and give it a little turn to pop the hinge. I get my finger in and the muscle is going to be right there every time.
Okay. All right. Well, we have to run, but because
go.
I think we'll save that one for Bob Fenty, right?
Yes, we
Bob,
will.
Yeah,
He's
Bob
been eyeing them
one.
up since we got here.
So lots of flavors, lots of things. Check out Rob. He's really, really awesome. Great information. And we're going to just head over and talk to Mr. Bob and what he's doing out there with Rotary.
Thanks very much, Kim. And you know, being a retired jeweler, I'm looking for that oyster that's got that big pearl in it, but I don't think there's any here on the West Coast. But anyway, on our Rotary segment today, we have Brenda Grice, who is the immediately past Assistant Governor for the Nanaimo area. Welcome, Brenda, and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bob.
Tell us, how were you chosen to be an Assistant Governor? And maybe explain briefly a little bit about what an AG is.
Okay, I guess what happens is a prerequisite to be an Assistant Governor is having been a president of a Rotary Club and completed your term. And so then what happens is one of your Rotary colleagues will nominate you as a potential assistant governor. Then there's kind of an interview process where usually it'll be the district governor, current, and then potential, and then the nominee for the following couple of years will interview.
I understand, this is a 3-year commitment that you made.
Yeah, typically it's a 1-year assignment renewable for up to 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did the full 3 years.
Good for you. So, and how long have you been a Rotarian, Brenda?
I joined the Rotary Club of Nanaimo in 1997, so that's 15 years.
So as the AG or Assistant Governor, what would you say would be your main function dealing with Rotary clubs?
Well, we wear a number of hats. Dealing with the Rotary clubs, we're a support, we're a resource, a facilitator. We facilitate communication between the clubs and also with the clubs and the district. And so we're a resource, sort of a go-between.
So basically it would be like more of a leadership role that you're playing in developing people in the club or developing the leadership abilities of some of the leaders of the clubs?
Well, again, as a resource, Rotarians, as you know, are pretty independent, pretty resourceful, pretty motivated and dedicated individuals. So there's a lot of capacity in all of our clubs anyway.
We're leaders already. Yeah.
So I see my role as providing individuals and clubs with the tools. There's a lot of information, a lot of resources. So I, as an AG, assistant governor, would point people in the right direction, answer questions, and let them run with it and try to help them be most effective at what they're trying to do.
And leading into that, let's talk briefly, if we will. There was a big meeting that we held back in February, which is the birthday of Rotary, of February the 23rd. All 5 clubs in Nanaimo got together. How did that evolve, and how successful was it?
Well, it was really interesting, and the word evolve is exactly what it did. We started around trying to celebrate Rotary in Nanaimo and Lantzville, the 5 clubs in our area. And so we wanted a celebration of Rotary. We wanted some public relations effort. In the end, we had the mayor and council commemorate the week as Rotary Week.
That, yes.
So we got PR, we got social interaction between all the clubs. Some of the clubs invited potential members to the event. We got fellowship and friendship amongst the 5 clubs. So it was a real multifaceted event, and I think it was really successful. I think we're going to be doing it again next year.
Oh, good.
And the presidents who were from last year have agreed to facilitate and coordinate it for the coming year. So it'll, like I say, continue to evolve.
So it sounds like my PR job is still there, and I'm still going to be doing the same thing again next year.
Yeah,
yes, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I've got lots more questions I'd like to ask you, Brenda, but you know, our time is up, unfortunately. I want to talk about conferences, but we'll do that on another time. But Brenda, thank you so much for coming and joining us on the show today. And any of our viewers who would like to get more information about Rotary and about joining a Rotary Club can do so by looking at our website, which is www.rcnl.ca here in Nanaimo. And coming up soon at the VIX, there'll be a display booth there as well too, so you can get lots of information there about Rotary. So now let's go over back to Matt and see what he's got. I think the Filberg Festival or something he's talking about. Matt, back to you.
Thank you very much, Bob. Absolutely, yes, we're going to talk about the Filberg here in a moment, and also let the viewers know that Bob will be back shortly with an art segment as well about the Forest Drive art in the park. So keeping with the arts, including Garfunkel and Blakey, yes, one of Canada's top arts and music festivals is coming back to the Comox Valley for its 30th year, and indeed it is the Filberg Festival. It's really an incredible setup. They have more than 120 artisans from across Canada there who practice in a variety of artistic disciplines, and I tell you, all of their works are 1, beautiful, and 2, for sale. So head on up, talk to the artists, go browse what's up there, find something for your home. Really, there are some really incredible works that can be found at this festival. As well, live music is permeating the festival all day, every day, with artists this year, including Spirit of the West, David Gogo, Michael Kashammer, and Phil Dwyer, among others, performing on 2 stages. And there's also a stage dedicated to children's entertainment as well. So combine all of that with great food, great people, and a beautiful oceanfront location, and you really have the making of a wonderful couple of days. So that's the 30th annual Filberg Festival up in Comox, taking place August 3rd to 6th. The gates opening up at 10 a.m. every day. And visit the website filbergfestival.com for location and ticket info. All right, we're going to throw it over to Tara now, who's going to get into some pottery for us as parts of Art on the Avenue. Tara, over to you.
Thanks, Matt, and nice to have you back.
Woohoo!
Yay! Here with me is Josie Diffuse, who's from Joe Vic Pottery, and you're a husband and wife team, so Vic is Victor, the part, and you are the Joe part.
I'm the Josie, that's Joe. And I think our family named us Joe Vic when we first got married, and he was my first pottery student, and that's 34 years ago now.
And
so
you've been making pottery since then. So we're going to talk what you are going to demonstrate, and as I'm going to pick your brain while you're demonstrating how to make pottery. We're going to talk about Arts on the Avenue. It's an upcoming event, August 26th in Ladysmith. Now you've been around 14 years with this event since the beginning.
We were there from the very beginning, and it happens to be one of our favorite things. It brings out all the people from Ladysmith, but it also often brings a lot of people from other parts of the province and from Washington. It's amazing. And they like to come back every year because it's a real fun festival atmosphere. Doesn't just have a lot of crafts and craft booths, But there are musicians, they've added food over the years.
Oh, gotta have food.
So it becomes a real festival atmosphere, and First Avenue is completely closed off to traffic, except pedestrians.
That's the downtown part, that one, I don't know Ladysmith too well, don't judge me. So that's that main road, right?
Yeah, you come off the highway and go up the avenue and past the Tim Hortons and go a little further, and then you'll be blocked off, because that's when the festival takes place. There's just really no place for anyone other than visitors.
The visitors. So tell us what you're going to be making today, because I know I see the finished product here.
Well, yeah, these are a couple of finished pieces, and this particular bowl is bisque forms. So if you touch it, you'll hear it's still very porous.
It echoes.
It echoes. This one just came out of the kiln yesterday, and I really love the luster of it. So I thought I would bring that and show you how they can look. These happen to be raku pieces. This will be a stoneware piece.
Okay.
And I'm kind of working on 2 pieces here because, well, it seems like everything moves quickly here. So for a bowl like this, I tend to sort of plan out what I'm going to do. And it's really an ode to sewing. It's cutting and pleating, which I don't do with fabric, but I do in clay.
So when we go to this event, are you actually going to be working on it, or do you just have the finished products that people can be buying?
My husband will be there with his wheel, and I have to tell you quite honestly that the work I do, I generally do all by myself in the studio. And
you don't want an audience, right?
Not usually. And coming here today, I just thought, hand building on television. I'm not sure I'm capable of that, but here I am. What I'm doing at the moment is kind of telling the clay, giving it a bit of advance notice, how I want it to fall when I flip it onto this form.
Okay.
Which I'm going to do next. And,
so, as we're watching you do that, can you tell us a little bit more about Arts on the Avenue? You said, I have the lineup here because you did give me the brochure. So we have, there's painters, there's people that are going to do pottery. I guess there's culinary as well. You said there's people that are going to be doing food.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. There's a little bit of everything. There's music. For example, Jack Fisher, who is a master wood carver that carves the most amazing seabirds and birds every year. He's always there. He's highly prized. We have musicians and I think an instrument maker that comes every year, makes guitars. We have painters. It's just a real atmosphere of fun, and the crafts, and well, you know, it's almost hard to call them crafts because there's so much art, but there are crafts and there is art, and it's just an exciting place where people get to meet people who live their lives in a studio. And
is this a free event, or?
It's an absolutely free one-day event. It's usually, well, it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning and it's over by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's really fast and rapid, and the streets are full of people, and everyone's really happy and excited.
Well, and if you want more information, folks, it is www.artontheavenue.com. And thank you so much for being here, Josie, and showing us your work and what we can expect on the 26th of August. So now we're going to go back to you, Bob.
Thanks, Tara. And we have some really special guests with us today. The residents of the area of Northfield and Dufferin neighborhood got together and decided that they wanted to have a new park in their area. So please welcome today the really hardworking artist, Yvonne Vander and Shawna Drinnan, who is a community coordinator. Welcome, both of you, to the show. And Shawna, tell us a little bit, how did you get started with this park project? Where did it come from?
Where did it come from?
Was it a dream?
Yeah, it came from phoning the city to say thank you for the great parks in the city, and we really enjoy them. Me and my sons, we go and do a lot of park tot lot time, and she said that if there was any parks that we knew of that needed some help, to let her know, and there was one just down the street from us.
So you got yourself involved, and you got some businesses involved?
Yes.
How many businesses did you
About
get?
10 local businesses
Really?
so far that have really put in either their time, materials, or donated money towards the
And I understand
effort.
there was a considerable amount of money that you and your husband raised.
Yeah, we've raised between our family and another family in the neighborhood, we've raised, the number to be exact would be probably 70.
Wow, really?
70K, 80K, yes.
Wow.
But the whole thing, we need about 20 more to get done. So
you're going to do it. I know you will.
We're trying. We're trying our best.
And Yvonne, actually, I had the opportunity of stopping by the park the other day and looking at some of the art.
Yeah.
And you got the kids and you got the adults in the area involved. How did you do that? How did you get them to show their artistic abilities?
Well, I work closely with the community coordinator here, Shawna, and they were fortunate enough to decide. I was fortunate enough to be involved and really appreciate the community's support around the arts. So they wanted to do an artist in residence stint, so we ended up posting on Facebook. We put about 200-300 flyers out into the neighborhood. A lot of word of mouth, that kind of thing.
Super. So you did bring some art with you. We're going to look at it in just a minute. We're just going to, in a minute, we'll look at that. But this coming Monday, Shawna, there's something happening big.
There's a big art installation barbecue event that we're celebrating this milestone at the park.
And some of Yvonne's big art too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So Yvonne, tell us a little bit. We've got some beautiful art here.
Yeah.
How did this evolve?
How did this come about? Well, it's a way to involve and create opportunity for the youth and the adults in the community and the children to participate and invest in their parks. So we did plywood cutouts, collaborative efforts, kids come and paint.
Did the kids actually lay on this?
Yeah, they lay on the plywood, we outline them, we prime them, we painted them with exterior professional mural paint, so they're going to last forever. They're all going to get installed on the fence lines in the park for years to come. So it's really neat because kids and families will come back and they'll say, hey, that's what I did when I was a tot, or that's what I did 5 years ago, and it's still here. So it's a really neat ownership piece.
And you've got more things to come as well, Shawna. Real quick.
Well, we're kicking it up to this milestone to celebrate the barbecue, but then we're going into finishing the park because we're halfway there. So we need to get more money raised and finish our project.
Shawna, we're out of time. Really, I'm sorry. There's so much. This is great. I know I'd love to talk more about it, but thank you very much, both of you, for coming and telling us about your park today. And we wish you all the success in completing your project. I know you will.
Thank you.
It's something, and other communities in the area should come and talk to you and find out how they can do it for their community.
Yeah.
So now let's go over to the Braeden Marshal group, and they're going to tell us all about flying, and away we go.
Good job, ladies.
I couldn't catch my breath. On my way, an angel she was sailing. Cool water and happiness. I'm flying a mile high again. I can see 4,000 miles. The hungry die, the wealthy smile. I'm flying, yeah, a mile high again. Above the world and the wars we fight, above the Lord and the city lights, I'm the king of the world tonight, and I'm flying a mile high again. I wanna live with no regrets, give my love to the ones I miss. I'm flying, yeah, a mile high again. Above the world and the wars we fight, above the noise and the city lights, I'm the king of the world tonight. Above the noise and the wars we fight, above the noise.
with me is Leon Davis, who is the district manager of the SPCA branch here in Nanaimo. Right. And here in the studio with us, we have little Bijou and we have Kitty. So we have great music, pottery, art, music from Braeden Marshal, and animals, dogs. How great is that?
Couldn't get any better, could it? Right?
So we're going to talk about Paws, Paws for a Cause, which is your annual fundraiser that you have. How many years have you had it now?
Oh, I don't even know. It's been a long time. It's actually the largest fundraiser event that the BC SPCA has provincially. It happens in 36 locations, all on the same day across the whole province. So we raise about $1 million at the event.
Which you guys need that.
Really need it. Yeah, in Nanaimo, it costs about $700,000 a year to run the operations in the shelter in Nanaimo, and we get no money from government, no money from the city government, and so it's all donations and kind supporters and stuff like that.
And so all that money goes to the operation costs for the SPCA here in Nanaimo.
That's right. Yeah.
And so what it is that people come out with their dogs and they walk and they raise money. Is that how
That's absolutely what it is. Yeah, it's such a fun event. We have so much fun planning it. So this year it's on September the 9th, and it starts at 10:30 with a registration, and the walk starts at 11:45 down at Matthew Sutton Park, and we go for a little walk around the park and up the lagoon and back, and we have dog games, we have ice cream, we have bouncy castles, we have prizes for the top fundraisers. So people who register, the top adult fundraiser this year actually wins 2 nights for 2 at the Black Rock Oceanfront Resort in Ucluelet, and $150 dining credit at their restaurant. The top team gets 2 nights for the whole team at Sea Meadows Vacation Rentals on Gabriola, and our top youth fundraiser is going to get a wee bundle.
Oh,
yeah, so
nice.
It's a lot of fun.
Aw, and I just want to let the folks know that Bijou here and Kitty are your dogs, and they were rescued dogs from the SPCA here.
They were, yeah. Bijou was purchased actually by a lady from a breeder, and the lady was quite old. She was about 84 years old, and she just after a few months realized she couldn't even pick him up. So he wasn't rescued per se, but she couldn't keep him, so she brought him into us. And that's why we always say, instead of shopping for animals, come and adopt one, because our counselors can really sit and work with you and make sure that we match the right dog for you. I'd never planned to get a toy poodle, but they say the dog picks you, and he's just such a wonderful temperament. Yeah, we love him. He's 4 years old. And Kitty here came all the way from Prince George. She was in a shelter that really was stretched for resources and things like that. We wanted to give her the best chance possible. She was actually attacked by another dog. She's the sweetest thing. She's a pit bull, right?
Yes,
so she is just like the most even-tempered, lovely dog, and she didn't fight back, and she had all sorts of horrific injuries. So we flew her over and we had her surgery done. And again, never thought I'd have a poodle and then a pit bull. But kind of fell in love with her. In fact, she was bitten on the nose just the other day by a Shih Tzu when she was walking, and she just turned her head away. But she's the one that has to be muzzled, so it's sad.
What? It is. That is really, really sad. The perception of the pit bulls, and you know what? I believe it's all about the raising of the animal.
Well, she sleeps with a toy poodle and 4 cats every night.
Oh, she's just beautiful. Yes.
He's the boss.
They usually are the small dogs, aren't they? But they are. They're just really nice temperament dogs. My goodness. And how long have you been with the SPCA? What's your story, Leon?
I actually moved here from England in 2005, and I actually was running a public aquarium. I did. I bounced back and forth from several different countries, so it's a little bit mid-Atlantic, my accent. But I was working, running an aquarium, and we actually rescued sea life.
Oh gosh.
And then a big career change. I came to Canada and was working in production for a film company, and then decided that I wanted to get back into animal work. So yeah, joined the SPCA.
Well, thank you so much for being here and just doing what you folks do at the SPCA. Because I mean, if we didn't have the problems that we have, we wouldn't need you folks, but we certainly do, and that's what's unfortunate. So this event again, September the 9th. It's a Sunday. It starts at 10:30. If you want to register, you can go online to spca.bc.ca/walk. And you can actually sign up, and you can create a team or just be an individual walker. You'll get your own fundraising page and thermometer, so people can actually donate to your walk right online. Or you can come into the shelter and pick up a pledge form and do it that way. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll be back after this commercial break.
Crime happens, but where it happens and who becomes the victim can be influenced by you and your community. As the eyes and ears of their neighborhoods, Block Watch programs assist police by reporting suspicious activity.
I'm witnessing a theft from a vehicle.
To learn more about crime prevention in your neighborhood, contact your local police department or the Block Watch Society of BC.
And now, back to the show, only on Shaw TV.
Welcome back to the show. I'm pleased to be joined by Bill Bestwick, Victoria Grizzlies head coach and general manager, also a second-term Nanaimo City Councillor. Bill, thanks so much for joining me here today. Talk about the transition, Nanaimo. Now you're off to the head coach of the Victoria Grizzlies after 12 years behind the Nanaimo Clippers bench. What's it like now being part of the Grizzlies organization? It's been a bit of a whirlwind for yourself, I understand.
Thanks, Ian. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you tonight on this great show that you've put together here. So, transition into Victoria is obviously a challenge after a year hiatus from coaching in the BC Hockey League, an extremely competitive league, one that I think has provided Nanaimo and around the province with some fantastic entertainment and community pride. So it's been something that's been a real appreciation for me to be able to come back into the league, remain on the island, and be in Victoria.
2 BCHL championships in your 12-year tenure with the Nanaimo Clippers most recently. So success is something that I know is important to you, Bill. You're starting with an organization, last place in the Coastal Conference last year. How do you build that up and try to get some traction with that Grizzlies team that is obviously has seen better days?
Well, reestablishing a once proud culture and an environment that has terrific resources. You know, one of the most beautiful cities on the planet, obviously, arguably. It's our capital city. You know, you fly right in there. All the amenities that are available for young players and families, kids moving away from home. Beautiful facility, the arena, Bear Mountain. Wonderful core of volunteer people. So it's, and a great league, and we all know that. So we'll just reestablish the culture through commitment and hard work, and we'll be a dedicated organization to providing those life-lasting opportunities and memories.
I'm sure it's going to make the Nanaimo-Victoria rivalry all that much more when the two teams get together. What's that going to be for yourself personally to step back into Frank Crane Arena, or even when the Clippers are in Bear Mountain Arena? I'm sure it's going to be a bit more of an emotional experience for yourself.
Well, the Clippers have been a big part of my family's life and my life, obviously, and it will remain such. Something that just being in the game, being involved in the sport, you'd like to do it where you'd like to do it, but you can't always be where you want to be. So, you know, with that said, I'm really excited to be back into the league. I'm really excited to be able to participate in Nanaimo, only on the other bench, and it's all good. We're providing entertainment, we're providing opportunities for the community to have pride and root for your home team. And I'm sure everybody in Nanaimo is going to root for their home team, and they ought to. They've got a real good one.
We're also going to talk about the newly adopted strategic plan that Nanaimo City Council has passed. Bill Bestwick, of course, a part of that. But before we get to that, Bill, the Vancouver Canucks, a lot of Canucks fans obviously in our viewership, and they've signed Jason Garrison, a 28-year-old defenseman, played for the Florida Panthers. Now he's a Canuck. You, of course, coached him for 2 seasons, and a very likable young man. You must be pretty proud of having Garrison part of the Canucks organization, and where he's really made some strides professionally in his hockey career.
Great kid, great young man, a terrific story, a wonderful story, in fact. Talk about perseverance, talk about living through a lifetime of dream without necessarily the affluence that a lot of our young players need and require to be able to play this sport, which has become very expensive. So, you know, Jason is a great story. He will make Vancouver proud. One of the finest young men and ambassadors to the sport you could ever wish to meet. And I'm really hoping for good things for Jason for 5 years in a Canucks uniform.
Have you coached a player with a harder slap shot than Jason Garrison?
Be hard to find. Kids with lots of very good shots, of course, but I don't know that there's anybody that has a harder shot than he does that I've been a part of.
Moving on to business at Nanaimo City Hall, the strategic plan has been passed, which is into effect, I understand, for the next 3 to 5 years. Some short-term goals that work sort of parallel in with the official community plan. In talking to you, you think this is very important. Why so? Why is the strategic plan a matter to the people of Nanaimo and mid-Vancouver Island?
Good question. Long, arduous task to be able to provide a direction and a focus. And it's really important that there's some pillars that future councils, as we move forward, can look at the foundation and where we're going, and knowing where you've been to get where you need to be. And it's time. It's just time that we have a strategic plan that identifies our core priorities that we need to really focus on. And things are getting so much more and more expensive all the time, more costly. We have to become more aware of what's happening in things that you can't see that aren't sexy. So our infrastructure, our pipes and our sewer systems and those things that you don't go by and it's a monument. We need to pay attention to that. And what this will also do for us with the strategic plan, that's the first strategic plan, a master strategic plan. Yeah, it's 3 to 5 years, but it'll allow for other planning to take place in transportation, in water and sewer, in our infrastructure, in our waterfront development, in our economic vitality. And it's things that we need to have that are staples so that we can always always go back to what's important. And our community spoke out and said that's what's important to them. So it's really the community strategic plan.
You talked about the things that don't get all the headlines, the infrastructure and things along those lines, but some things that in the strategic plan that people may notice is what could potentially happen with the waterfront walkway, extending it from downtown to the Departure Bay Ferry Terminal, also potentially improved access to Newcastle Island with potentially a dedicated ferry service to get more people to utilize that beautiful piece of land. To speak to that aspect of things, you've always spoken very proudly about the harbour front, and that seems to be a focal point here.
Well, I don't think you get any argument that our waterfront and our harbour it's gorgeous and it's an attraction, and one that we really need to build from. It's our jewel. If we can extend it, I would certainly be in support and have since 2005 when it first came onto the political scene of extending the waterfront walkway. There's many stakeholders. There's many benefits and many advantages. Of course, there's some obstacles. If people are watching the news a little bit, Vancouver is talking about taking their waterfront all the way out to Kitts and beyond. I think it's 2.5 kilometers. So it's really something that I think allows people to be transient, pedestrian, cycling, tourism. It brings a lot of advantage. So it's something that we'll support. There will be obstacles along the way with as many stakeholders as there is. And you mentioned Newcastle Island. Another absolute jewel that I think that we need to have more accessibility to, easier accessibility, and so that people can be exposed to one of those places that's absolutely a Kodak moment every time you're there.
In closing, Bill, in your second term here at the Nanaimo City Council, third term, I'm sorry.
That's great.
What do you see as something that you'd like to see this council accomplish here in this term?
Well, I'm really pleased that we have a strategic plan, and I hope in the next 2 years that it'll allow us to evolve and provide for our community and those community leaders that are going to follow in behind us, that they will have a plan and that there will be something that's objective and not subjective. So objectivity is really important, I think, as we move forward and advance our city. We're growing exponentially. We have to look after our resources, water being one of them naturally, and we're making a significant expenditure there. And so I just hope that we grow and we mature properly, and I think the strategic plan will allow us to do that.
Bill, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
There he is, Bill Bestwick, head coach GM of the Victoria Grizzlies, also a Nanaimo City Councillor. Now he's sending us off to outer space. Here's Matt Carter.
Woo! Thank you so much, Ian. Absolutely, I've been called a space case once or twice in my day. So anyways, also best to Bill and the Grizzlies as well for the upcoming season. Before we do get to a little story about a cartoon in outer space, we're going to check back in with Josie. And so how are things going here with your sculptures?
I don't think I've ever worked so quickly in my life, but I did manage to finish 2, more or less. They need a little bit more fine detailing. But I've started the decorating process, which I really like because it's kind of like, let's play with cake decorating on.
Absolutely. It's absolutely beautiful, beautiful stuff. Now, where can other folks see more of your work over the next while?
We have a studio near Page Point Inn, but the Arts on the Avenue, Vic and I are the featured artists this year.
Excellent.
So we'll be there on August 26th, and everyone can come by and see Victor at the wheel, and I'll be leaving this stuff at home, I think.
Yeah. Well, again, beautiful stuff. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Usually I buy my Christmas presents on July 24th at a well-known national soap store, but I think Pottery is where I'm going to go this year, so wonderful stuff. All right, as mentioned, quickly off to outer space, I want to tell you about a really cool summer exhibit happening down at the Nanaimo Museum, which is located in the Vancouver Island Conference Center. It's entitled To the Moon! Snoopy Soars with NASA. Basically, what does Snoopy have in common with NASA? Well, it actually starts back in 1968, where Snoopy, that lovely cartoon dog from the Peanuts Gallery, had a role in the Apollo 10 mission. and that association with Snoopy and NASA has continued on ever since. Not only can you find more about Spaceman Snoopy, but there's a children's play area where kids can dress up in an actual astronaut outfit to get their photo taken. And on Thursdays, between 1 and 3 in the afternoon, the exhibit hosts a rocket lab where kids can build their own rockets. I'm sure that parents are over the moon with this sort of news. Anyways, check it out as well. There's a special event happening at the Rocket Lab on Thursday, August the 9th at 1 p.m. where there's a special video chat session with Canadian astronaut Major Jeremy Hansen. So they give a quick presentation, then host a question and answer session. So personally, I want to know if Major Tom has actually dealt with those spiders from Mars yet. But yeah, head on down, get there early, get a good seat, and talk with the real astronaut. Again, that's Snoopy Soars with NASA down at the Nanaimo Museum, and that's ongoing until September. All right, now it's time for an interview with our musical guest. So I'm going to pass the puck to my main man, Andrew Roberts, who has a breakaway from the Blue Line Inn, and he is chatting with power trio Braeden Marshal. Andrew.
Thank you, Matt. It's great to see you back. Not really, but it's great to see you back. I'm here with Braeden Marshal, a great father-son rock trio. Over in the middle, I've got Marshall. Or no, Braeden, sorry, Braeden. To my far right is Marshall, and right here is Dad. So thanks for coming, guys.
Oh, thanks for having us. It's,
Yeah.
Such a treat.
Yeah, and it's Joel actually, but yeah, so you guys, you've been around for a while, and your CD, which has, I guess, taken a while to get to this stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was pretty excited to finally see it shrink wrapped, and pretty excited to open it myself. So how did it come to get to this stage? Like, what did you guys do?
Well, in the very beginning, we entered a Got Pop Battle of the Bands. That's where it started with Andrew, and we just kept with it. Turns out we hooked up with the producer, Andre Wall, so he co-produced this album, and he's got credits with Pink Floyd, Shania Twain, 5440. You can go on and on about Andre. He really liked the band, loved the father-son dynamic, and so he got on board with this project, and we did a short album, it's 9 songs, but it's a world-class recording, and we're very stoked. We like to do things well, and it's just been one blessing after another with this band. It's been great. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And you guys have played a lot of shows. What are some of your favorite shows that you've played?
My personal favorites, I think, were with Headpins and Prism, 2 bands that I grew up with when I was young, rocking out. Loved Darby Mills' voice. So for me, it was like those kind of bands. We had a lot of opportunities from the very beginning to play with a lot of great bands, a lot of great artists, and we haven't had to do too much of the club bar thing, but we've been able to do a lot of great shows with some big names. So for us, it's been great. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What does the future hold for Braeden Marshal?
For us, it's just getting this album off the ground. The website's launching probably this week, if not by this week, first thing Monday. We're booking our tour. We've got some big shows coming up. VIX, we've got Sunfest in Duncan on the 2nd. VIX is the 18th. And then we're at the Peony in Vancouver on the 21st and 22nd, taking part of a competition over there. So it's really good. And then it's a tour and recording the next album. I can't wait to record again. You know, I love recording. So. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, you can pick up the CD or music at iTunes. It's also on your website, braedenmarshal.com, or at any live show. So you can also get the amazing T-shirt. Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yeah.
Take it away with your song, You Wear It Well.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah.
Subtlety, you wear it well. Wear it well. Your artificial smile, your make-believe, you wear it well. You wear it well. The smile on your face remind me of a different time and place where we could laugh out loud. All your dying dreams, your cries for help, you wear it well. You wear desperate soul, you wear it well. You wear it well. The smile on your face remind me of a different time and place. We could laugh out loud. The smile on your face remind me of a different time and place where we could laugh out loud. Did someone steal your heart from you? Did someone tear your dreams in two? You wear it well. Still the light of freedom is in your eyes. You wear it well. You wear it well. Hidden in your deepest thoughts, underneath it all, you wear it well. You wear it well. The smile on your face remind me of a different time and a place where we could laugh out loud. The smile on your face remind me of a different time and place where we could laugh out loud. Did someone steal your heart from you? Did someone tear your dreams from you? You wear it well. You wear it well. You wear it well. You wear it well.
I love Braeden Marshal. Awesome, you guys, awesome. Well, last summer we had a very intense time in my family. My mom ended up having an open heart surgery, and it was a very difficult time for her, very difficult time for our family. And the emotional stress, the physical issues, all that sort of stuff was something we weren't used to, and I certainly know my mom wasn't used to it. So she was looking for people to help her, and she found an amazing group called the Heart Sisters. And I'm joined by Diane, Shipclark, and I've got Teri Sabo with me. And they're part of the Heart Sisters. How are you ladies?
Great. Fine, thank you.
I'm so thrilled, and I thank you so much for the support that you give to my mom and other women out there. Can you tell me a little bit more about Heart Sisters, Diane?
Sure. 5 years ago, I had a heart attack and ended up having open heart surgery. And I was searching for other women who had been through a similar incident, and it just turned out that all these women started getting referred to me by my doctor, the Heart and Stroke office, and now we have a group of 10, and that's how it kind of started.
So, Teri, how do people get involved with the Heart Sisters? How can they? You were saying that it's just referrals and stuff. Is there any other way that people can get connected with you guys?
Mostly, I think it's people who call the Heart and Stroke office. That office actually gives Diane a call and gives them the person's name or email, and Diane contacts them and they join us for lunch. We go out once a month.
Nice. So that's as simple as that. Just give a call, you can get involved. And I heard you guys are pretty cheeky.
Maybe.
No, you guys, I know, have a lot of fun. You guys talk about important issues and about how healing and emotional issues and things like that, but you also have fun. I think that's the other thing that comes across with you guys. Why is having fun such an important thing for your healing and moving forward?
Well, I, always believe that laughter is, really good medicine.
Right.
So, we can't be serious all the time.
Right.
It's a serious subject, but we have to bring laughter into it.
Right.
And so that's what we try and do.
So where are some of the places that you meet? You go for lunches? What else do you guys do?
We go for lunches. It's Diane used to organize it all the time by herself,
Right.
and recently we started. Each one of us decides what it's going to be next month, and we all join up. and get together. It's always at a restaurant, but I think it's growing, and we may have to think of something new.
So it is growing. So more and more people are coming out, more women. Why is it women? Like, why have you guys specifically chosen to just, do it with chicks? Like, why is that?
Well, I find that, and all the research I've done and reading I've done, is that, women have different symptoms, their recovery is different, and so that's why we just sort of went with women.
Right. So, and that isn't important because men have a different way of presenting with their heart and things like that.
Yes.
They also have a different way of dealing with their emotions as well. And I think we need a place that you can be more open and discuss that. Because I honestly didn't know how to talk to my mom about what her needs were. And I think because you knew, it's an amazing support. What a gift for people. So with heart disease, is it happening more with women lately, or is it just more prevalent? What's going on?
I think that certainly women are becoming more aware of what's going on, but I do think that it is more prevalent. It's the #1 killer of women in Canada.
Oh my golly. This has gone so quick. I thank you both for being here, and I hope that anybody who has a mom, a sister, a grandma, an aunt, anybody, a female, and if they have heart issues, really, the Heart Sisters is a really good place to go and connect with other women. And check out the Heart Sisters. We have the information up there. And I think we have some more really fun heart stuff coming up over there. And I think we're going to talk to Tara and look at little kittens. And I think that's going to be really heart friendly. Oh, yeah. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Oh, they're so cute. Here, Tara.
Thanks, Kim. Here with me, we have animal season today. How lucky are we? We have Paula Newman, who's the Humane Education Supervisor of the BC SPCA here. You're actually from Vancouver, so thanks for coming over here and talking about, let's talk about this humane education before we go on to the summer camp program.
So our Humane Education Department really focuses on teaching people proper pet care, learning about different animal welfare issues, and we do have a strong focus on youth. So we really have different programs that kids can take part in at the SPCA. They can't volunteer, they're not old enough to volunteer at the shelters, but we do provide programs where kids can learn a lot about animals.
Okay, so that's what the Humane Education Program is. Right. Now, what about this summer camp that's coming up? Let's talk about that.
We actually held, we already had one day of our summer camp. We have another summer camp coming up one day in August 16th and August 23rd. August 16th is Careers with Animals. Okay. And August 23rd is Big Hearts for Small Animals. So kids can come out and meet different people at the Careers for Animals, learn about different ways they can get involved. A lot of times kids just think, oh, I want to be a vet. But there's lots of different opportunities, and they can learn all about that at our camp. And then at the Big Hearts for Small Animals, they can learn how to care for small animals, choose the right small animal that's best suited for them. We do an adoption match, and
nice.
They can learn about that.
And you know what? Sometimes I believe that children are actually more teachable than adults, so that the children are educated and they come back and teach the parents.
You bet. And we've seen that many times, especially with some of our bite-free programs. We actually have school programs as well, where we go in and teach kids how to be safe around dogs, how to handle pets properly, and when we've encountered them in the park, it's the children right away going, Mom, no, you can't run up to that dog right away. You need to learn how to let them sniff your hand and pet them under the chin.
So and all it is just educating kids so that, they have the summer off so they can come to your branch here in Nanaimo.
Well, the camps are actually held at Bevan Park.
Okay.
And then they do get a tour of the SPCA where they do get to interact with some of our shelter animals and learn about the SPCA.
So now if they want to register, how do we do that?
You can register online. Actually, our camps are, I have to say, are full this year, which is excellent.
Oh, yay.
But we, because we know that, it's a very exciting program, we are going to offer some workshops throughout the year. So even if you can't make it into camps, keep your eyes open for the workshops on Pro D days or maybe during Christmas holidays or spring break. We're gonna
always day
programs.
camps, right?
Yeah.
So they're day camps and they can be like for 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Now tell us the story about these little kittens because we have Mumbo and Tonga.
They actually were just dropped off at the shelter. This is kitten season. There's lots of unspayed cats out there, so we really encourage everybody, obviously, to spay or neuter their pet because it is difficult to find homes for all these kittens. And then, of course, the kittens get adopted, but then sometimes some of the adult cats then get overlooked. I think I'm going to give this little guy.
Yeah, they're little. They're kittens, so of course they're a little playful. That makes sense. And if I can say as well, Paula, is that instead of going to the pet pet stores and stuff, SPCA folks, if you're looking for a cat, a kitten, a dog,
gerbils,
hamsters, you name it. SPCA first. I can't, stress enough to be looking there before our pet stores here.
And our animals, our cats, dogs, and rabbits all come spayed and neutered as well. So that's an extra.
And that is huge.
bonus.
Yes, I totally support that. You know what? Our producer Melissa Hall here was just saying something I've never heard of about the black cat adoption. What?
It's actually very common across all humane organizations. Black cats and black dogs tend to stay in our shelters longer. I don't know if it's just they're not attracted enough. Sometimes the other ones, maybe different colors are more attractive physically, but they make just as great pets. And, I personally have a thing for the black cats. They're awfully sweet.
Never heard of that. I just found that out. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming here and giving us some more education. And again, if there's any more information that we need, can you just plug in your website here?
Sure. You can go spca.bc.ca, look under youth, and we've got different programs, school programs, workshops. You can find out any events that are happening.
Perfect. Thank you, Paula. Great. Where's Matt Carter? There he is.
Here I am. Oh, very, very cute kitties. Thank you so much, Tara, and thank you again, once again, to the SPCA. Always good people to talk to during the dog days of summer. All right, so we're just about to end. What? Well, everyone's booing. Howie, help me out here. All right, so we're just about to the end of the show here. All the folks want to get in on some of those effing oysters and dig in there. So we must thank all of our guests, all of our volunteers, all of our hardworking staff from in front of the camera, behind the scenes. You can also find us here at the show on Facebook, Twitter, and check out previous episodes on YouTube. And as always, we like to end the show by cruising out with some more great music. So we're going to send it back over to Braeden Marshal with one more song called Breaking. Thank you so much. Cheers. And thanks for watching.
Lines. You try to fool me, hypnotize me like in the movies. Right there in plain sight, you try to break me with all your white lies and your sharp knife. You rattle my heart, rattle my heart. You rock the whole thing. You're breaking me down, breaking me down. You rock the whole thing.